like to think that we're trying to have a balance between kind of the elementary school you wish you went to and for the 21st century kid. You know, having it very interactive and very 21st century with a lot of technology and things like that, but it feels like cozy, like a home, you know, that school, what school should be. You know, we still sing songs and we assemble all together and sing the school song, and we have a lot of school spirit. Every Friday, kids wear their Tarwater Toro t-shirts, and that school spirit, I think, makes it special. But I think having that 21st century push too of what does it look like for kids to be in school now? It has to look different. Just the whole world is different, and so I think our school has to be different too. But there's something about elementary school for parents. We want that nostalgia. You know, I think parents want that nostalgia of what elementary school felt like for them, and so we really try to capture that. And the teachers here do an amazing job of keeping it fresh and doing new things in their classrooms and bringing in technology, bringing in science and STEM, and having more of that global competencies for all students. But also, you know, we stop and have fun too.
In kindergarten, we like children to come in with some readiness skills. And some of those might look like they have the ability to sit for a certain amount of minutes and listen. They also have to try to take turns. They also have to try to, be patient with each other. And so here at Tarwater, we have these great Toro targets, which all year long, and all their school career, they're talking about respect and responsibility and talking about integrity and compassion. And so all of those Toro targets really help kids socially and emotionally throughout their school career here at Tarwater. So those are at the very beginning stages of kindergarten. That's something that we help them with. Well, definitely when a kindergartner comes into class, we hope that they can at least say their name to us, hello, my name is, and speak, clearly. We want them to be able to sit and listen, and we teach them how to do all of those expectations in the classroom, like raise your hand or wait and things like that. Some social norms that will help them in their school career. It's our hope as kinder teachers that your kid has some readiness skills that'll help them for that full day of kindergarten. And one of them is learning how to correctly hold a pencil and have that pincer grasp. Just some things that parents can do at home is just giving them that opportunity to practice writing their name, coloring, have time for them to use scissors appropriately and, put their fingers into those the scissors and learn how to one hand hold the paper, the other one is squeezing and holding. So all of those are going to help them get ready and prepared. Even letting them take a glue stick, open it and use it appropriately so that when they come to school, all of those things are not foreign to them. They have those experiences with learning how to write and learning how to cut and learning how to use appropriate tools that they're going to have all day long. In kindergarten especially, this is the child's first experience completely being independent. And when you have many children in a classroom, the teacher has to allow for that kind of experiences for them to fail a little bit so that they can succeed. And so in kindergarten, they're going to need that time to figure it out for themselves. We do want the child to be able to do certain things for themselves. Obviously, they're going to be having lunch at school and they need to know how to open up their lunch bag independently and open up their milk carton and open up their food and even Capri Suns where they have to put the straw in by themselves, all of those types of things that the child is used to having their parents help. This is the time where they're going to the restroom alone. They're taking care of their needs alone. There's a lot of things that parents can do at home to get them ready for school so that they can be successful. The most important thing a parent can do to help support their kid for reading and literacy in school is read to them. Children need to hear what good reading sounds like, to have a story read to them and to talk about the elements of the story and what do you think is going to happen next, and oh my gosh, that was so funny. And even nonfiction texts where you're reading facts about things, you're studying animals, you're studying places, you're studying people. So really, to get your kid ready for school is just to have them appreciate what good reading sounds like. Really just getting a kid to listen to really good literature, rhyming words, having that time together so that they can appreciate and hear what really good reading sounds like. One of the things that parents can help kids do when they are getting ready for kindergarten is, for math, just basic counting and having fun with it. So that rote counting, but not just starting at number 1. Start at like the 20, 23, 24, 25. And then once you get to that decade, and you're going 26, 27, 28, 29, lead them to that next decade, 30. And then maybe start at 88, 89, 90. So you're not always starting at number 1. And at home you can sort, have them help in the kitchen and put the utensils away, have them sort the little spoons, the big spoons, the forks, the knives, things like that. Have them count out, the napkins that they need to set the table. There's a lot of things that you can do for math to help them get ready. Patterning, sorting, big, little, small, colors. Those are all opportunities to help them really have fun with math. Kindergarten is a really great opportunity for them to have other teachers in their life. So they have a music teacher, they have a PE teacher, they have a computer technology teacher, a STEM lab teacher, and of course a library media specialist teacher. And so those are really great opportunities for them to really have more of an experience with the fine arts, with the exercising in the PE. And so they get this 6-day rotation here at Tarwater where they'll be seeing many different teachers all week long and having a different time to connect in a different way that is just not limited to the regular classroom. They can choose to either send a lunch with their child, or they can choose to buy a lunch here at the school cafeteria, which is really great. And sometimes parents can come and sit with their kid and have a lunch too. But lunchtime is a great opportunity for kids to also have that social development time, to be able to do a couple of things. One is obviously feed themselves, and then 2 is have that engagement time to talk to others, while they're eating and get to know other children on a social level that they can't always do inside of a classroom. We have 2 different programs here at Tarwater. One is the traditional program and the other one's the Mandarin program. And so in the traditional program, we have our students all day long. And in the beginning of the school year, that can be a really long day. And so the way that school looks like first quarter might look a little bit different compared to the fourth quarter. They need that kind of sustained time, to build up their endurance, if you will, for a full academic day. So in the beginning, you might see children come to school and, they have their calendar time, they have their read aloud time, we give them time for literacy, whole group, and then we also provide recesses. So there's an opportunity for them to have a morning recess and then a lunch recess. In the afternoon, they may have math time, and then they have a guided reading time, which is the specific time that we work with students in a small group, teaching them how to read and at their independent level. And so we take their strengths and we make some goals for them and then to push them and move them forward throughout the rest of the year. After lunch in the beginning of the year, they might need a little bit of time to rest from the heat, from the elements and such. And so it might be a little bit slower paced that first quarter, giving them time to build up their endurance. We all have a snack time in the afternoon. They get hungry later in the afternoon. So we ask parents to pack them an additional snack that's different from their lunch. And then, in the afternoon, some more academic time for writing, perhaps maybe another recess just to give them some wiggle time. And of course, we have all of their specials, whether it's music, PE, computer, STEM. So there's actually a variety to kind of keep them busy, but at the same time, change it up a little bit throughout the day because they are 5- and 6-year-olds and they do need to have a lot of different activities throughout the day to keep them motivated. When a child enters kindergarten, obviously there's so many academics throughout the day. Whether I'm teaching a child how to read sight words, in kindergarten we have 100 sight words that they should learn by sight, versus when a child's learning how to read a word that they don't know, we teach them how to decode it, how to tap out the sounds for unknown words. We're giving them phonics-based education so that they can make sense of the words, and the real application of reading is for comprehension, whether you're reading a story to have entertainment or whether you're reading a nonfiction text for information-based. Parents, we all want that our child to be successful. In kindergarten, a 5- and 6-year-old's day can be long, can be difficult, can be challenging, but at the end, we want them to be happy and successful. And in kindergarten, we are spending a long time also on their social emotional development. So we're trying to get them to learn how to be a good friend. What is it like to be respectful? What is it like to be a responsible student in the classroom? Obviously, academics are very important, whether it's math or literacy, but at the end of the day, we want them to be good human beings, kind and caring. And kindergarten really takes a long opportunity, a large opportunity to, yes, focus on our academics, make every student successful and at their independent level, whatever that may be, and challenge them to move them forward. But in the end, too, we want them to be nice people who can take care of each other. So in kindergarten, we're going to spend a long time on their social emotional development as well as their academics. Kindergartners need that experience and time to write. And so we do a lot of modeling of what does good writing look like. And so again, we're taking the sight words that they learned from the reading and applying that into their writing. We're talking about what a sentence and the elements of that sentence are, how many words in a sentence. So if we were writing a simple sentence, something that's easy for a child to relate to, things that they like, I like baseball or something like that. We're counting the words in that sentence, and then we're figuring out which one of those words are sight words, and we're writing those the way that they're supposed to be written. They can look at a sight word wall for that. And then obviously baseball is something that's not that they know, and so we're tapping out the sounds in that word. We're trying to figure out beginning, middle, and ending. We're talking about conventions of uppercase, you end it with a punctuation, a period. We're making sure that they have spaces in between their words so that it looks like a sentence. Those are all things that are gradual. Early childhood says that writing goes in stages, and so we honor that not every kid is going to come with those same readiness skills, but writing looks like a picture. Writing looks like a picture with some labels. Writing later looks like a picture that has some labels and maybe some words that go with it. And then until we get to that development and that scope and sequence of, I have a picture that represents something with a simple sentence, maybe 2 or 3 sentences by the end of the school year that look readable. Math in kindergarten, we follow a program called My Math in the traditional program, and it really builds a really good foundation of numbers. And so what we're talking about is the visual representation of a number and then the quantity that represents. And then we're building on from there, from the simple rote counting to manipulating numbers. So if I take a number like 8, I want to be able to represent that in different ways. I can have 8 counters. I can have a 10 frame that has 5 on top and 3 on the bottom. I can show it in another way with fingers, to represent 8. I can have 4 and 4. I can have 5 and 3. I can do things with 8 to deconstruct it. Like I said, the 4 and 4, the 5 and 3. I can manipulate it in a sense where I understand the meaning of that number and the quantity of it. It's higher, it's lower than. So in kindergarten, we're really building that solid foundation of number sense, and then we're applying it. So whether it's simple computation or simple subtraction, we're giving them the tools that they need to solve a problem. So it's not one way to solve a problem, it's what kinds of tools can I use to help me be successful, whether it's using a number chart, whether it's using my fingers, whether it's understanding 10 frames and that numbers are base 10 related. So we teach all students different ways to solve a problem so that they can be successful. It's a really great opportunity to do some hands-on units. So whether we're studying butterflies and we're actually growing the butterflies and have the caterpillars, and then watching them morph into the butterfly, or whether we're doing some projects with pumpkins in the fall and we're gutting them and we're exploring them and we're talking about how plants grow, and we're taking field trips to various places so that they can not only just study it in this one dimension but actually go touch and see and explore. So science and social studies are really great ways to really get that hands-on exploration and really go and give them the experiences that they can take and remember. We love parent volunteers. We here at Tarwater are a really great community. I don't think I can do this job alone without the parents. It's really crucial that we have their support. And so in the classroom, they're more than welcome to be classroom volunteers in whatever capacity they feel comfortable with. So whether it's helping teachers make copies, or reading with some students, or practicing some flashcards, or helping children with their numeracy. There's many ways that parents can become involved. We have a dad's club where they make and build furniture or things for us for the classrooms. We have a wonderful PTO, lots of opportunities to fundraise for the school, support teachers. We have Art Masterpiece where the parents come in and they help teach a lesson, and maybe if they don't want to be the actual lead teacher for Art Masterpiece, they can be a support for somebody who is doing the real lesson. And so there's just lots of opportunities, whether it's helping with the PE teacher and helping with Run Club Race, or helping the Chinese immersion program too. There's just lots of different ways to help and support the community here.
In terms of how we integrate the curriculum is whatever they teach on the English side, I also do it in Chinese. Learning another language brings out another side of them that you probably would never even seen, and just having a little bit more appreciation for other cultures. You'll give them a broad perspective of a world view. At kindergarten, they're like a sponge, right? They pick up language so fast. And then that's actually a proven fact. They can pick up the Chinese language so fast within the first month, they'll be able to understand my simple direction. By the end of the school year, they'll be able to make their own simple sentences, and not I don't need to prompt them as much at the end of the school year. But by the end of the school, they'll be able to write simple sentences. They'll be able to communicate their needs to me in Chinese. And by second grade, from what I have been seeing, you can have a nice back and forth conversation with the second grader, and it just continues to build. If they're ready for school, then they're definitely ready for a Mandarin immersion class. Because basically, if they have the right attitude to learn the second language, I'll take care of the rest. If they know their numbers in English, I'll teach them their numbers in Chinese. Of course, reading will take time, but I mean, they're in my classroom for half a day. So I'm creating that Mandarin immersion environment. So all the reading, writing, speaking, and listening, they'll start picking those up. They'll shift their mindset from English into Chinese as soon as they walk into my classroom. How the day works is that one class will come to me in the morning. They still get their specials in the afternoon. So in the afternoon, they'll go to their music, PE, computer class, and library. So they will still go to those 4 classes, and those 4 classes are conducted in English. So they still get their special class. But all the other core academics like math, science, social study, and Chinese language arts, I'll teach them all of that. Even though they're in the Mandarin immersion class, by recess and lunch, they hang out with all the other kindergartners who are not in the Mandarin program. So they still get to see their friends, even though their friends are not in the program. So they'll see them plenty of time throughout the school day. All typical day is they walk into my classroom, we start doing centers. And after in the centers, we'll do calendars. We'll do some math. We'll do some a little vocabulary exercise, and we'll sing songs. And all those are in Chinese. And afterwards, I'll teach a lesson. I have a theme, and then after the theme, I'll break into 4 rotation centers. And at each rotation centers, we'll do different activities. It could be cutting, it could be drawing, it could be writing, and it could be speaking. It's a fun, active, constant movement environment.
We strive for that global literacy, global competency, and what does it mean to be a global citizen? And so it's not just about having our dual language immersion program here, but in all the classrooms of what does it mean to be a citizen of the earth, and knowing about other cultures, other people of other places, and exploring all of that, because our world is getting smaller and smaller. And I think that's part of what I talk about when I say a 21st century learner is about not just knowing your little corner of the world, but the whole big planet.